So when they come in the house, we come in the house, I say, you guys know it's Tuesday, right? And Tuesday is the day you guys argue? Well, I will tell you, it was the male who was strong. He left and he went into his bedroom. And no matter what the female said, although she was talking to me and not him, she was getting out all of this anger, which to me was a program. But I didn't say, they are programming you to say all these things. I didn't say. I just listened. And I observed and I noticed it was the male. He went into the room, and when she began to speak, he did not come out. He did not say anything. And normally, he would come out of the room and la 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 la, both of them. But he didn't. And then I noticed the next Tuesday, there would be almost an argument. In the male, he would stop the argument. It takes two to argue, so he would stop the argument. So now they do not argue on Tuesdays. Isn't that something? And that's what I'm saying. You have to know yourself. You have to know the programs, at least some part of the programs, because there are many, many, many programs. You have to go and begin to research and listen to these people tell you of the program. Go Google or whatever search engine you have. Put in Twin Towers. It's like capital letters with periods in between. G period, W period, E period, N period. You know? You write it like that and then put towers. There's a website. It is a lot of reading, a long read, but read it and learn. And don't just read it once, and if you come to words that you do not understand or you do not comprehend, go and look these words up, but begin to research this program so that you will know how to stop it. Because there is no God coming. There is no Jesus. He does not exist the way that you are taught. The way I once was taught, there is no Jesus. And we are the gods. So we must begin to use our Godhead, our brains, our brain cells, and begin to learn this program. Stop watching the TVs. Stop watching their music videos. Stop watching their commercials. Stop buying all their shit. You don't need a lot of pair of shoes, you just think you do. How do I know? Because Frankie J had a lot of pair of shoes, and guess what? I had a lot of pair of shoes. I had a lot of clothes. I had this, I had that. I used everything I had. I wore everything I had. But still, I had a lot until I went to jail. In jail, I learned a lot of things. I learned that I do not need all these things to survive. In jail, you get your clothes. And you wear these clothes for 3, and depending on what jail, 4 days straight. You take a shower, you put these clothes back on. You're not going anywhere. Why change the clothes? More money to use to wash them. So I noticed I did not need all these things. All the things I had in my house I thought I needed. I did not have them in jail, and I survived, although I slept my whole way through. I slept the fuck out of that. I didn't want to be in this bitch. I'm going to go to sleep. Which means I was traveling. I was other places. I was learning. I studied there because I was traveling. But I slept most of the time. But I also learned a lot of things. And I also learned that in jail, people are very creative. This one girl, she would get Skittles and put them in, and M&Ms, and put them in water and use it for paint. And she could paint her ass off. The people in there can draw, and they can make things from nothing. They are very creative when they are in jail. But once they get out, they are no longer creative. They are street runners and drug addicts. I was in jail with street runners and drug addicts. Mostly everybody in there was on drugs, and it was Florida. Florida has more drugs, more mind control. I meant to say Florida has more mind control than anywhere else. So many people are under mind control in Florida. In the little small towns, these people never leave. They leave and go to the military, but then they come back. They may leave and go visit somewhere else, but they go back. They never leave. I read books like that while I was in Florida of how the bigwigs decided your life will be like this person's life will be like that. We will make her a prostitute, and we will make him a murderer. I read books like that. And now, all the books that I read, I am seeing mind control, mind control, mind control. Now, my daughter is reading a book called Cell. I read it before. I think it is by Stephen. He think he is a king, but that is the King Victory of his last name. And in this book, he talks about the cell phones and how the cell phones make some people somewhat like zombies. But then there are those who did not receive the pulse. I guess when that grid sent out that energy, that pulse signal, these people didn't get it. And my daughter just read that part to me last night. She just got to it, where it says that those who did not get the pulse are not to be touched. I told my daughter, I said, that sounds like something in my history book in Job, where it says you can do what you want to do to them, but do not put your hands on them. And this is why when the police put their hands on me, they wind up going to the hospital. They got beat the fuck up because I am not to be touched. In the lazy program, there are attitudes. If you ask your child to go and clean up your child's own mess, they have an attitude. They don't want to do anything but watch TV and get on the computer and play games and be on their phones. That's all they want to do. Today, children do not go outside and play hopscotch. I have not saw anyone jump rope in decades. They do not play games outside. They do not even ride bikes. Every now and then, you will see a child on a bike. He may be accompanied by someone else, another smaller child on a smaller bike. But not like we did. We were like a bike club. It was a lot of us, and we rode the bikes all the way downtown to the beach, or we ride the bikes to the park, but we were outside. There are no children outside anymore. And I don't think I would send my children outside today either, because your children can come up missing just as fast as that video showed. The little boy was swinging, and all of a sudden, boom, he was gone. And that, when he showed me that reminded me of Tommy knockers. See, the word Tom and Tim are code words for military programs also. In the word says symptom, like if you get sick and they make us sick, go to or you targeted. There was an article that it had to be like 2009, 2010 when I found this out. There's an article there, and it will tell you if you have this going on, that going on, if you are sick and you have this and headaches and backaches and leg aches and high blood pressure and strokes and whatever else diseases, then you are a targeted individual, and then you go from there and see they are making up these diseases. They are making up cancer because they put so much stuff in our food. It is killing our bodies. And why are they doing the melanated men like this? Because they mildew on their own. They don't need help from these products, from the GMOs, from whatever they put in the chemtrails. They don't need help to rot. After so many generations, 4 or 5 generations, they will begin to rot. They no longer can have children. That's why you see them running around. They only have 2 children, and we think, they are dealing with 2.5 children, whatever the fuck that is. No, they cannot have no more. And some will have their children get in a relationship with a melanated man so that they can have a baby. And now, there is a movie and it's called something, Rabbit Hole, I think. I know something about rabbit. And it is half-breed children, but there's a pink man who rules over them and tells them who they marry and where they go and this and that. And that was a program created a long time ago by pink people. That was to keep their asses alive. It's similar to Jacob, when Jacob dealt with these sheep and he began to separate the sheep. And he will put all the spotted sheep together, all the black sheep together, all the white sheep together, like that. Although he put them all together for the spotted sheep to mate with the spotted sheep, and the black sheep to mate with the black sheep, and the white sheep to mate with the white sheep. He did that. Remember, these beasts, the Neanderthal, poverty-stricken brain cells, motherfuckers, are reversing everything. So they are reversing that too. So now if you are spotted, they decide where you will go. Will you go with the black or will you go with the white sheep? But today, if you deal with people, will you go with the black man or will you go with the pink man? They decide who the spotted ones go to. They did then, and they're probably deciding that shit today. They will put, if the baby stayed pink for a long time, because some of my babies were born pink, they did not stay pink. They either turn yellow or orange or brown. If the baby stays pink, then they take the baby and put the baby back in their flock. Now they can breed some more. You see? And it is called multiplying. When mankind breeds with humans, when the melanated man breeds with a non-melanated man, and they have a baby, it is called multiplying. When two melanated people get together and they make another, it is called procreating. When two pink people get together, non-melanated people get together, and they bring about another one, it is called breeding. Why? There are 3 different words for this. Procreating, dealing with 2 melanated people. Breeding, dealing with 2 unmelanated people. And multiplying, when a melanated and an unmelanated produce something, it is called multiplying. Because they multiply themselves again. Because if they would have stayed in caves, they would have died off. They would be no longer. They can only last so long. They even have some Neanderthal videos that tell you when they have their babies and how they have their babies. You wonder how did they remember all of that? They probably got the knowledge from Egypt, because they will tell you they get everything from Egypt. And so they have programs for everything. They program you to even who your friends are, and you do not even know that. If someone comes into your world and they have the same name as you, or they have the same name as someone you know, especially in your childhood, and you will take hold to this person, there is a connection. The name, neuro-linguistic programming, is also names. So you will take hold to this person, and then you will find out later that this person was not really good for you. Some reason, or this person would just stop talking to you for no reason at all. It's nothing you did to them. It's nothing they did to you. They just stopped talking to you. Because they are programs. Everything is a program. Even when we wake up, that can be a program. They keep a lot of people asleep, and people just think they need this extra sleep, but they really don't. They keep a lot of people asleep so they can fuck around maybe with your clones. But I know that they keep you asleep so they can reprogram you or keep programming you. My baby girl, she was just fine. All of a sudden, she started doing all of this sleeping. I was talking to Amy at the time, and I told Amy, she's doing all the sleeping. Before I can say that they are reprogramming her, Amy said it. That is because they're reprogramming her. I said, or they are keeping her in the same program, which is still reprogramming to do it over and over. Repeat. Next thing I know, they send a handler. Yes, they use us as handlers. Actually, Amy is a handler. And Amy cannot handle me, so her handler will have Amy say shiftless shit to come out of her mouth. One day I told her I would hit her in her mouth if she said it again. She had her back turned to me when she said it. I knew it was not her and I knew it was her handler. But when I speak to Amy about what her handler has her do to me, I cannot speak to her. Amy goes off the hands. Nobody even tells anyone how she acts, but Amy just goes off. If you do not agree with Amy, then you are under mind control. I had to tell her many times. She cannot put me under her mind control, and she is not going to handle me. There are some things that Amy does say that I do not agree with. I don't have to agree with that. Me and Amy are two different people. We are going to do two different things, although the same. I do not have to agree with you. And you do not have to agree with me. But I'm sure there are many things that we do agree upon. There are many things me and Amy do agree upon. But they will have her shiftless toward me. And she would be ignorant to the fact that was a program. But I had to get away from that program also. And before I start talking about that, I forgot what I was saying. This is 17 minutes in. And it is now, I'm sure it is, it's almost 9 o'clock. I am so bored. And I am trying to call Dorothy. But her phone just keeps ringing. It won't even go to her voicemail. I did not even think to text her. Maybe I'll do that without a thought, because I cannot say, let me go and text Dorothy, because then they will get into our phones and fuck with our phones. That is a program too. There are many, many programs. And this is the boy right here. He is really under a program. And they are paying him to stay under that program. Just like they pay me to stay in where they can tell people I am delusional. See, she is delusional. We give her under $900 a month to remain delusional. And while she is delusional, we will make up these fucking stupid ass laws that she cannot rent anywhere because she only does not make enough money to rent. Another thing about this renting shit, that is a program too. They want to know everything about you, every fucking thing about you. Even if you have a email address, they want that too. They want everything, your bank statements, everything. I was wondering, am I really supposed to give these people these things? Couldn't they fuck me up with this stuff? It's 18 minutes in, I'm coming back.